All right, I was messing around with my camera, trying out a new lens. I put on this 56 millimeter lens on my camera, and it's like really close up. Like I should have just recorded some because it was just like face, and I have this tiny little office. So I'm like, oh man, I guess that's not the right lens for this space that I have here. Bummer. But maybe it would be cool to shoot some videos outside. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take my camera outside. We'll do some nature shots. We'll get some natural lighting. Like some directors really like to do the natural lighting. Like there was that movie with Colin Farrell, the New World. I think that's what it was called. I think that's what it was called. That was an interesting movie, and it was filmed entirely with natural lighting. This is a small space. This lovely little space you're looking at here. I got my bookshelf put in here with this is all my tabletop games that are books. I have in my another shed. I have all my tabletop games that are board games, like Descent and the Dark Souls board game and the Darkest Dungeon board game. And there's a Darkest Dungeon expansion out for the video game, which I'm excited about because I haven't played that game in a long time. But this was a garden shed that we converted into an office. So I even put a little AC unit in here, which is really nice when it gets hot, because it gets very hot up here in the mountains of Arizona. And although it's been really lovely and rainy and gorgeous lately. So today I'm kind of a little aimless, and I apologize for that. I'm still getting kind of my sea legs back after my year-long hiatus. But this morning I went to hot yoga at 6 a.m. Then I went to Orange Theory directly after that at 7:30 in the morning. So I worked out for a solid 2 straight hours, went and got groceries, brought the groceries home, put groceries away. I did all that. I did all that fasted because I'm currently pretty much on like this kind of for a diet. So that's my breakfast when I have that in a little bit. But yeah, I've been trying to be very healthy, and maybe this will just be a little rambly video about that. I did an assess. So I've had some crazy health stuff, and the crazy health stuff is probably a result of various factors, which I just figure I'll just talk about because this is kind of why I've been gone for a year. But right before COVID hit in 2019, I was getting in really good shape for the first time in a long time. I've been hitting the gym hard. I'd lost a lot of weight. I was doing really good. I was running races. I did my first 10K, which I know that's, for the runners out there, that's nothing. It's just a 10K, but for me, it was a big deal. And then when COVID hit, and I thought, oh, this won't be such a big deal because I already work from home. I've worked from home for years now, so I'll just be working from home. But then, of course, my kids were also now home, and I had a new teenager, a 8th grader, and like a 5th grader, I guess, is what when COVID started, something like that. Anyways, difficult ages, especially teenage girl, like 13, COVID, and shit just got really, really crazy around here, and everything sort of fell apart, I would say, in my life. And I'm not complaining. This is not meant to be a complaint or like a pity party. I think self-pity is like one of the most corrosive things you can have in your life. But yeah, so then I one thing led to another. I ended up having my daughter full time because I share 2 children with my ex, and we were on week off, but my daughter ended up moving in with me and has lived with me ever since for like the last, it's been like 5 years now, I guess. And I went through, I got very sick during COVID, and I think I had some long COVID stuff. I think I still do. I think there's weird stuff that happens with COVID and like massive inflammation in the body, but like a lot of things like got super inflamed, I guess. And I was drinking too much, and like a combination of that ended up being extremely bad. So I've had all these weird swallowing and breathing problems, which I was pretty much taking pretty good care of that. But then my SI joints, which are like the joints at the top of your butt, they're kind of like at the back of your pelvis and the bottom of your back. Those suddenly, like, well, so kind of slowly, but suddenly I didn't hurt myself, but they like started going into dysfunction, and dysfunctioning SI joints are just extremely painful. So I wake up every morning pretty much in like just kind of the most crippling pain. It's like hard to walk to the bathroom. It's hard to put on clothing. It's hard to sit on the toilet. Like, but that has been very motivating. So recently I had a real bad flare up of my swallowing issues, and it affected my breathing while I was driving on the freeway. I couldn't breathe all of a sudden, and this combination of like my back flaring up and all this whole like chest, throat, lungs complex flaring up, everything flaring up was like really eye-opening. And I was like, okay, I need to really, really like get out of my funk, out of my depression. This depression that's this last year has really like just kept me down, kept me from making videos, kept me from being like feeling like I had anything to say about anything, even though I've had lots of things I've wanted to talk about. So I, over the last few weeks or whatever, since all this kind of came to a head, have just buckled down really hard. I've gotten an endoscopy and a dilation of my esophagus, the esophageal stricture there. I'm on a lot of medications. I got more back injections for my SI joints. I have another endoscopy planned. I've been on an entirely liquid diet for weeks now. I've kicked nicotine. I weaned off nicotine because I was doing the Zyn pouches. I weaned off for about 2 or so weeks, doing about 1 pouch a day, just to keep my head straight. And now I'm like 6 days nicotine free completely, which is pretty cool. Probably the longest I've been in a couple of years since I started doing those stupid nicotine pouches. It's crazy thing is I used to smoke cigarettes, but I usually only smoked when I drank. And then I quit smoking when I got COVID. And then I would drink and no big deal. I would still drink and I just wouldn't have cigarettes, which was like, it felt a lot healthier than before. And then I started these fucking Zyns, man. These things are the most addictive, like crazy addictive, like little candies in the world. Like you can just pop those all day long. You pop those at the movie theater. You pop those while you're working. You can pop those like when you wake up in the middle of the night. Like I was a Zyn junkie. Like give me all that sweet, sweet nicotine. I haven't entirely quit caffeine, but I have quit drinking coffee and pretty much anything acidic. Anything acidic causes these symptoms, and I like to be able to swallow food and to be able to breathe. So I've also lost like over 30 pounds, but I've also put on muscle in that time that I've lost that weight. So I'm down like 5% body fat, and so I'm feeling really good is the point. It's weird because I feel healthier and more alive and more like vivacious than I have in many, many years, probably 7 years, probably since 2019, right before COVID, when I was running races and doing that sort of stuff. At the same time, I feel like an old man. Like my back hurts when I get out of bed in the morning. I can't reach down to grab a sock off the floor, or like I'm like struggling to get my shorts on or something to go to the gym. But and then I'm scared to swallow food. So I'm drinking protein shakes, and that's pretty much my diet. Like an old man, I'm drinking like Ensure and shit, right? But I'm also going to hot yoga pretty much every single day. I go to Orange Theory, which is a high intensity interval training. For whatever reason, I can do all these things even with my back issues. The one thing I can't do is like go uphill. I can't hike uphill. I can't do elevation on the treadmills. Like I just don't do anything like that. And I have to be a little careful about like the kind of lifting and stuff I do. But I also do personal training. I'm getting back into cycling, so I'm doing some gravel biking, and I'm going to get back into mountain biking. And I do hike my dogs, although it can be very difficult to hike because we live in the mountains, and any uphill stuff just immediately activates these SI joints. So I'm going to try using some poles, which I hate carrying stuff when I'm hiking, but I'm going to try the poles because that can help. And I'm going to try to keep losing weight. So I'm at about 260 pounds right now, but I was about 300 pounds this year at my worst. I was about 300 pounds, which is like crazy heavy. And I've been overweight for a really long time. I'm like a very strong guy. Like I'm very muscular. Like I'm built like a Viking, right? Like, which is good. But like I gained a lot of weight, and a lot of that is depression weight. And I was in at my personal trainers, and they were showing this chart of basically, I've been going there for like 11 years now, off and on, because it's expensive. But there, that showed like the line going down in 2019, like my weight line, like I was losing weight. I was building strength. I was losing inches on my waist and all that. And then like it cuts off because it's COVID and everything shut down. But when it starts back up, it's like the weight is way up here and now it's come back down to where I was before. So you can kind of chart like that COVID, depression, crisis, and then back to where I am now. And I say, if you flipped that chart, it would be my mental health dropping down into like severe depression. I've been to the ER 5 times since COVID started. For first, I thought it was my chest. I thought it was my heart. But it was all this GI stuff that was going on. One time caused panic attacks so bad that I actually spent a night in the mental hospital, because when the ER people asked me if I want what is the suicide questions, I said that I don't want to kill myself, but I would be okay if I were dead. Because I was in that was how low I was right there. That's how like bad these feelings were. So that's just me being very transparent about kind of where I've been at for the last few years. But I have made huge progress, which is good. I see a therapist. As I noted, I'm very active. I work out like 12 times a week, probably. And then I'm just like busy doing so much stuff. But getting to this point, like part of my like getting healthy again, because I haven't been drinking. Like I stayed fat and depressed after I stopped drinking, and my health problems continued. Like they got better, but they continued, and so I've had to I couldn't just say, okay, you've done enough. You've stopped drinking. That's enough. That's not enough. Like you've done enough. No. I have to lose weight because weight puts pressure on all these systems, on all these organs. Weight puts pressure on the joints. And so like half of why I want to lose weight is because I'm vain and I want to look good. I want to like see pictures of myself and think, damn, you look good, Erik. But half of it is also because I want to feel good. And like, I don't care what anybody says, like the big is beautiful and all this bullshit. Like being overweight is extremely unhealthy for you. Like that's all there is to it. Like setting aside, attraction and sex and the mating ritual, being overweight is bad for you. It is bad for your organs. It's bad for your joints. It's bad for your body. It is bad for your lifespan. And I don't want to live forever, but I'd like when I was in the ER this last time, because I went a few weeks ago to the ER because of this breathing issues. I was sitting there, and across from me in the emergency room, there was an old man. He must have been, it's hard to tell, right? It's hard to tell with people in the ER. I couldn't see him clearly. He sounded like he might have been in his 70s, maybe early 80s, but not really, really old. Not like frail old, but older, well older than me. And he was in some kind of pain or crisis, but he kept crying and he was just sobbing, and he would moan, and he would sob and he would cry. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. And the nurse told me that like most of the people in there are old people who are really sick, and they're always sick, and they will always be sick until they die. And I thought, this is not how I want to live. There was one time I was in the ER. I could write like a whole essay about my trips to the emergency room for all the bullshit that I've done to myself, and combined with the, I think, massive inflammatory response to COVID. But I was in a room where there was like a sheet between me and this woman on the other side who is a Native American woman. I live next to the Navajo Reservation, which is the largest Native American reservation in the world. And there's a lot of alcohol and drug and gang and poverty problems related to the reservation. So this woman she was in her 20s, I think. I can't remember what her blood alcohol level was, but it was just so far through the roof that it was a wonder she could talk. She had been found on the side of the road, beaten severely, and she kept asking the nurses and doctors for water, which they could not give her because they were going to have to perform surgery. She had head injuries. She was really, really, really messed up. And when they left for a minute, she turned to me and asked me for water. And I thought, Jesus Christ, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Which is, when I was in the mental hospital overnight, I was only there one night because it was going to drive me crazy. But there was a guy at breakfast who was meowing at the nurses like a cat. And I thought, I really don't think I belong here. Like I've been having a crisis, but I don't think I belong here, which is what I told them. And I made them let me go. So that's kind of been my, this is the last few years. The last year has been much calmer than the years before that, but I also felt so just out of life. Like I was not really living a good life, and I felt down all the time, and I just felt like every time I tried to go and sit down and make a video and talk about something like Stranger Things, like these shows that have been on, like Night at Seven Kingdoms, I just had nothing to say, and I couldn't imagine making videos when I had nothing, when I didn't have the energy or the life force, the verve, whatever, the moxie, the gumption, the charisma, the loquaciousness required to actually make a video. Because when I make a video, I don't write a script. I just talk about something. I usually have some notes or I have some thoughts, but that works really well if, like today, I'm feeling good and I'm up and I've been working out and I've been taking care of myself. And it works really, really badly when I'm down and I can't really get any thoughts out. I can't get my thoughts collected, and I just want to play video games, which I did a lot of over the last year. I played a lot of video games. I played hundreds of hours of Arc Raiders and Call of Duty and all these other games, and that's fine. But if I was a streamer, that would have been great. But I'm not a streamer because I always feel like video games is kind of a private thing. Like, I mean, I do socially game with friends online and stuff, but I've never felt comfortable streaming games for whatever reason. Maybe it's just my personality or my age. But my goals just to get really, really healthy. Like I want to be an athlete, I want to be like as athletic, because I really feel like you have to take care of all three sort of main pillars of yourself, right? Which is your physical self, your mental self, and your spiritual self. And whatever you want to call spiritual self, I don't mean necessarily God, but like your relationship with how you interact with sort of art and humanity. And I always have felt like I have had a pretty healthy spiritual self. Like even when I was drinking, I'm a nice drunk. Like I don't ever get angry. I'm not an angry person. I'm not a violent person. I think one of the reasons I kept drinking for so long is because maybe for people who've had drinking problems, maybe you can relate to this, but like it really helped me feel. Like I was talking about this the other day with my therapist, and I said, I think the thing I miss most about drinking isn't going out to parties and going out and doing stuff with people. It's sitting there by myself, and I know this is pathetic or whatever, but like sitting there by myself and drinking until I was drunk enough that I would just sit there and listen to music and like listen to this song that made me want to just like weep. And I could just sit there and like weep and listen to this music that moved me and feel so much pain or whatever stupid shit I needed to feel. I can't do that sober, really, like not the same way. Sobriety is a hell of a drug. Sobriety is a hell of an experience. It's really good though. I really highly recommend it if you are dealing with addictions and emotional distress or problems, or suicidal thoughts or anything like that. I should probably put like the suicide helpline number in this video just in case, because the thing about people is we don't know what people are going through, right? We interact with people online all the time, but we don't know what they're going through in their lives. We don't know what they're experiencing in their lives. We don't know what kind of pain or what kind of loss, what kind of stress. We don't know what their kids are going through. Like some of the shit that I was dealing with as a parent was extremely difficult, and I handled it extremely poorly. I mean, in some ways, I think I handled it really well, and I think I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much, but I think I made some choices that were really, 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 really great for my kids. And, but then I also made choices that were really bad for me. And then ultimately had to make choices that were good for everybody. Because you can't take care of anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself. It's like the fundamental singular lesson that everyone has to learn at some point. So you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of anybody else around you, no matter how badly you need to or want to. I was literally not sure what I was going to make a video about today, but I think I've had to just like talk about this and get this off my chest. So those of you who've been following me for a very long time, my little posse, my little ragtag group, could just kind of get a glimpse into what my life has been like. And I have a good life. Like I don't have a bad life. I have a depressive personality, that can really grab a hold of me. And I get overwhelmed, and I get, it's hard to do it. I've done this. I've had a job that I do on my own for 15 years. I've been raising kids on my own. For at least a few years, I've been a full-time parent, single parent. And it's, it gets overwhelming. It gets hard, but it's a really good life. I love this town I live in and the people. I've got an amazing group of friends, and so much support. Not everyone has support. So again, when you interact with somebody online or in person, or somebody's an asshole or someone, what I try to tell myself is we just don't know what they're going through. Because I've gone through things that have made me not be the best person in the world to interact with. And so I try to extend grace and extend empathy and extend, as much as possible. And then sometimes I'm just like, fuck you, you're an asshole. Like, go die in a fire. Like we all lose our patience. The internet seems to keep growing beyond what I'm able to keep up with also. YouTube feels almost like this quaint and cozy place to return to. I won't even go to TikTok. I don't like to watch, like the only time I watch Instagram reels is when my daughter sends me funny Instagram reels. Like I don't know. I can't keep up with this shit. I feel like an old man. I'm an old man shaking my fist at the clouds. But this is all I'm going to say about all that. That's been what's going on with me. That's why I've been gone for a while. I was trying to get my head on straight. Now I'm not saying my head is on straight completely, but I'm on the right path. And doing this, talking about TV shows, talking about movies, sometimes talking about video games, talking a little bit about culture war stuff here and there. That's fun for me, and it's fun because I feel like you guys all in the comments and stuff are awesome, and like we have some good conversations, and I really appreciate that. Because more than anything, like I don't want to get up here and preach at y'all. Like I don't want to come at you with like what's true and what, I'm not trying to come at you with some agenda. I don't really believe in that. Like I want quality. Like I want quality TV shows. This is what I say. Like there's some people who they're gonna see anything that's ever comes out of Disney, Star Wars, and they're always gonna hate it. But you know what? Like Disney, Star Wars has done some good shit. I'm rewatching the second season right now with my son. It's so damn good. Like, so I'm just gonna tell you, it's good. I don't care that Disney made it. Like they made a lot of mistakes, but if AMC rebooted The Walking Dead and it was actually good, I would say so. But I think I'm pretty much done with The Walking Dead. I still can't, watch this new season of Dead City to save my life. There's a scene in the second episode where Negan's like playing video games. I think he's playing Gears of War. And they show like a close up of his hands and he's like just hitting buttons randomly. And I'm like, couldn't you just get a shot of somebody who's actually playing the game so that it looks realistic? Like, is it that hard to just pay slight attention to detail? What I was going to do today was I was going to make a video about Widow's Bay, but I'm just not ready. Like, even though I watched the show 3 times, I realized when I sat down that I just hadn't really thought through what I wanted to actually say. So I'll come back with that. Maybe that'll be the next one. I have to watch Lanterns. I did get screeners for Lanterns, and so that's the new DC show. So I'm going to watch that and come back with a review, or at least a review of the first episode. Maybe we'll do some weekly stuff, weekly discussions. But yeah. I also was going to do like another Odyssey video about like recasting the Odyssey. So I might do that. I don't know. Give me ideas. Give me ideas for videos. I always have all these ideas, and then like, this is my whole life. I have so many ideas. Like I have been working on like 6 different tabletop role-playing games. Right. And then I'm like a dog where I hear a sound over here and I run over there and I forget everything else I've been doing. So, help me out. I need help. I don't really need help, but I like ideas. Like if you have ideas, or if you're like this new show that sounds really cool, like tell us what you think about it. I would love to. And I'm going to go see the movie, The End of Oak Street, which is a new movie with Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, and it's about dinosaurs. And I haven't really liked a dinosaur movie that much since the first Jurassic Park, so I'm really hoping it's good. But I'm going to go see that on Saturday, and I'll let you know what I think about that then. And I never did talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I feel like I'm going to have to do that too. But, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being awesome. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Peace.
I don't mean to be cruel, but dude, if you've been wondering where I've been hunkering down, I'm right here channeling back on my YouTube channel. Apps in the flannel over quality panel, and not even the cocker spaniel named Daniel is that when he moves from his pre-approved station. Just me shaking my head at the state of the nation. Woke up on me, all alone and 100% free for your viewing pleasure. Oh, did you say national treasure? And some hopefully healthy chit-chat about movies and TV. The occasional lament over pop culture's vultures and bullies and fiends. And the occasional creative genius named Trevor, who wrote the best thing ever, hands down. It was the talk of the town, but then pants down, got caught with this cock-a-doodle-doo. Oops. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Oops. Roosters crowing or maybe pistols at dawn. I forget where I was going, wandering in my lawn with the sprinklers on. But I'm back in the saddle, so it's time to start rowing. And this metaphor mixing is likely only just showing. Baby bump. Oh, look, it's another news story about Trump. Like nothing really changed from this absolutely deranged timeline, but it's fine. You need a curious mind. But anyway, I think I got sidetracked again. Standing in the grass drenched with the neighbors staring and shit. Taking pictures to post on Insta and X. Like I'm not the only one getting wet. But if you were wondering whether I'd re-emerge from the ashes like Dumbledore's Phoenix,
is he allowed in this remix?
After my latest in a long series of crashes, here I am, happy warrior like Adam Baldwin told me to be.